idea to ask the Spitting Image people if they'd be willing to do the thing, and they seemed into the idea. I mean, the song "Land of Confusion" sort of lent itself to the kind of their approach to. I mean, over here, I don't know how much you've seen of their program in America, but obviously in England, I think it was kind of well-known program as a sort of political satire. And the song obviously was a sort of had a kind of simple political message which would come across very well in that way. And we wanted to do a video that didn't involve us, actually. It's nice to... I mean, notice that the video that we got a Grammy for was the one that we're not in. And I think there's a lot of... that could lead somewhere, actually. Maybe we should do it again.
It's the record we don't make that will win the Grammy.
That's right.
Okay, you're watching Genesis. It's Rockline on MTV. They're in Madrid. I'm in LA. You're on the phone, hopefully somewhere, and we know you've obviously figured out a way to get along, but there must be some things that make you guys fight. What are they?
Yeah, well, I wish I could tell you. To be honest, these days we don't fight very much. I mean, when there were 5 in the band, and we were younger and I guess kind of more hot-headed, and we used to argue about such unimportant things. We'd be making a record and we'd fall out over, you know, who had the buzz or little things that just didn't really matter. Nowadays, and I didn't attack you with a chair once.
Oh yeah.
I went off to Tony. We disagreed about who did an encore, and I went for him with the chair, and I missed. But I think this day and age, we don't tend to argue. I think we kind of feel it's such a waste of time arguing, and when we work together, which is not so often now, there's so much to do that we want to do musically. We don't waste our time.
All right, and we're going to get into the... You don't have to cross your fingers. That was a good answer.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can see you. You can't see me. And Jason can see us all, and he's watching from Peoria, Illinois. Hi, Jason. What's your question?
Hi, guys. I'm Martha. Can't believe I'm talking to Genesis. Okay, I have a two-parter for you. First of all, do you feel that your lyrics and music are getting more complex as the years go by?
No, not really. I think the music... I mean, a lot of people think our music's got a lot simpler, and in some respects it's got a little simpler, but generally I think it's just more direct. I think in the old days we used to have a point and then disguise it as much as possible so people wouldn't get it. And now we're a bit more direct with what we're saying. I mean, there have been songs, for instance, about social issues in Genesis history, although people really sort of relate to Land of Confusion as being the first time we sort of had a social conscience. And in fact, there were songs on earlier albums that dealt with situations like that. Lyrically and musically, we've just got a bit more direct.
Thank you very much, Jason. And we're going to take a call now from Jessica, who's calling from Davis, California. Jessica, you're on. What's on your mind? Jessica? Do you have a question?
Come on, Jessica, don't be shy.
Well, I guess we'll just move on along. We'll go all the way to the other coast. We'll see if we have better luck in New York. We've got Louie calling from Bayside. Hey, Louie, what's up?
Hi. I just want to say your album is great. You guys keep on getting better. Each time you make a new album. Well, I just want to know, are you planning on bringing out a CD box? A box set of, you know, your greatest hits?
Not well. We never really planned to sort of to do anything. You know, we kind of think of the albums a bit as sort of totals in themselves, and so we don't really like the idea of breaking up the albums and taking a bit off this and a bit off that. It's not to say we'd never do it, but it's something we don't particularly want to do, I don't think. I mean, you might package the albums together. You know, you buy 3 at a time, things like that.
I thought you your album.
Brilliant. Yeah, put my album in there, so when no one's looking. No, the only other album we've ever considered that we might do at some point is something that includes all the tracks that have never been included on any major album. We've got lots of tracks over the years, it's sort of B-sides and extra tracks and EPs and things. And it would be quite fun to put them all on an album. That would be a pretty long album now, actually, probably be a double album. Even on this record, for example, we've got 2 tracks that we've recorded that are not on this album. And so, you know, and they'll probably come out as B-sides or something soon. But at some point we'll do that album.
But that's a good idea. Genesis Rarities. Thank you, Louie. And we've got Rusty on the line who's calling from Plano, Texas. Hey, Rusty, what's your question?
Hi.
I've been a big fan of yours since I was 5 years old, and you guys have been my best friends ever since. I have 2 questions. Number one, could you tell us the names of those B-sides that were cut from the album?
Well, yes. Yeah, I don't see why not. One of them.
Secret, sorry.
One of them's called On the Shoreline, and the other one we ended up calling it what? Hearts on Fire?
Hearts on Fire, yeah.
Yeah. On the Shoreline is a good track.
So's Hearts on Fire.
Yeah, they are. Actually, they're both good tracks. Yeah.
And what's the second part before they start arguing? They're about to fall out.
See, now we found out the answer. What makes you fight?
Yeah.
Well,
We had a slight disagreement over which 2 songs to leave off, if any. And but we 2 against 1.
These are one of these
worked it out.
disagreements that you really wanted to know about earlier, Martha. It's just that
Right.
sometimes we don't agree on everything. But you know, like we're man enough to sort of back down occasionally. And Tony was man enough to back down on this particular instance.
I'm kind of disappointed, though, Michael. I would like to have seen a chair go flying. Just would have been good TV.
You know.
Plenty of time for that.
Okay, Bobby, how are you doing tonight? Bobby's calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you for joining us. And what's your question?
Thanks, Martha. I am so nervous, I'm shaking.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask the guys which singles surprised them the most, as far as which ones they thought were going to do well that didn't, and the other way around.
I think the one that surprised me the most was Mama. I'm not sure about in the States, but in England, it was a 6-minute song, and it was not the kind of thing you imagine a hit single is made out of. And it was a big success in England and Europe. And it's great also when a song has got a lot of substance and is a little bit different, like Mama does that well. Any other ones surprised you?
Well, Invisible Touch, you know, it was our first #1 in America, but yeah, in England, it didn't do anything at all. It kind of, you know, it was 12 or something. We don't really have many hit singles in England. We've kind of been more of an albums band, I guess, since we began. But that was a sort of one that we thought might have done it, but didn't. But it did in America. So
I think one song that I was always sad wasn't a hit single was the song Duchess, because it's one of my favourite of our songs, and released as a single sometime, must have been off the Duke album, so sometime after Misunderstanding, and it didn't really take off anywhere. It was a much liked song, I think, of ours, but it just didn't seem to work as a single, which is a pity, because I think it's one of the strongest songs we've ever done.
And with that, we thank you all for calling, and thank you guys for staying up now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for you.
Don't tell us.
it is. That's true.
And where are you off to now?
Sorry.
What?
Yes, we're all off to Tony's bed.
The band that sleeps together plays together. That is it for this edition of Rockline on MTV. Again, thank you to Genesis. Next week, Richard Marks, and we'll see you then.